Hello everyone, this is Crypto Maximalist. Welcome back to another video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and get involved if you like the content. So just taking a quick look at Bitcoin here. As you can see, we have marked out a nice little resistance here, which we have broken out of over the past, day or two, which has seen us, breaking above our EMAs here, and also that resistance here. As you can see, resistance, resistance, if I can actually draw the circle, resistance here, and we have seen a little bit of a breakout, which has seen the market up around 10%. Obviously, everyone getting very excited, but we're, not even, you would say, remotely out of the woods yet. We have been breaking out of some key resistances, which we will now talk about. But, mostly we have just been in this range, we would say, looking something like this, range. We get the false breakout, come back inside, on the low, on the high, low, and then looking like we have broken out of this resistance here, coming back to test the high, realistically coming back up to that 22.5, 23k level at the least. We would say for our next price target from what we can see. Obviously, recently we've just been, chopping sideways. Basically, you would say ever since, what is this? Friday the 17th of June. We've just been chopping sideways, doing something like this. We did have, as we said, that false breakout. Came down to test the low again. The low has been very, very strong support, hasn't it? Down at around that 18. What is it? Let's take a quick look at this actually. Down at 18 to 18.5k level here. Very, very strong support that has not been broken yet. You can see here as well, bullish divergences at that low. So you'd expect us to come back up at least and retest the overall downtrend. We'd say realistically, we have got very, very overextended to the downside. A bit of a renaissance here, but we do think that this was, a kind of rising wedge situation like this. You obviously come down, you get your rising wedge, you come down, you're retesting that low, but potentially, forming, what could be a very, very large double bottom here, so looking something like this, with the bullish divergence as well. You can see if you drag that RSI line up like that. Let me just zoom in so this is easy to see. RSI is coming to the upside. You can see here, price tried to move to the downside here. Closed all the way down at the bottom of this range. Everyone thinks we're going to roll over like this, but we actually get a little bit of a pickup off that low. And we're actually starting to see some, bullish signs in the market, aren't we? We're getting back above our EMAs. The last time that we were above our 20 and our 55 EMA on the chart here was when we were just here, and you can see obviously we got that lack of momentum to the upside, the false breakout, we fell back inside the range. But positive signs all around, in our opinion. This resistance here, resistance, broken out, back tested as support again and again and again. We get the run up to the top of the range, we come back down to retest the low, and now looking like we're breaking out of this resistance here, looking something like this. I mean, you could say realistically the resistance is actually something like this, isn't it? Resistance, roll, resistance, roll, and we've finally broken out of it here, haven't we? So this is the first milestone, really. First milestone here, this very sharp breakdown. We've already talked about the breakout, the back test, and, running up to retest that range high before rolling over again. But looking like, a lot of bullish confluence right now for potentially coming at least back up to the top of the range. Breaking out of both of our EMAs, last time that happened was here. Breaking out of this local trendline resistance. We do think that Bitcoin, realistically, is going to be heading up towards the top of the range here over the next week or so, we would say. Where we will be, probably doing something like this, where we're essentially just chopping it sideways for a good while. So overall, we'd say Bitcoin looking pretty good right now. We did say in yesterday's video that we were probably due to retest the top of the range again. So we do think realistically things are looking pretty good for Bitcoin. We'll take a quick look on the hourly time frame. You will see even better here what we're talking about. Obviously that big resistance here. Resistance, and finally got a bit of a breakout here as well. So we'll probably see ourselves break out, maybe come up, do something like this, back test and head up. Or if we fly all the way to the upside here, we might see ourselves go all the way up, back test some levels here, and then maybe see a bit of a breakout of that range, and hopefully see some more upside for Bitcoin, because, realistically, we have been chopping sideways for a long, long time here. And, it's doing pretty well, isn't it, considering all the economic hardship and conditions that we are seeing in the wider world. So overall, today for Bitcoin, not looking too bad at all. We'd say realistically, a lot of that downwards momentum, as we can see on the MACD here, has been lost. We've mostly just been chopping it sideways, looking, on the MACD at the very least, a little bit positive, if anything, starting to maybe pick up some momentum to come and challenge that overall big resistance that we need to see broken here, or at least tested for the first time again for a long time here at around that 27k level. So that would be our next target. If we do see ourselves rolling over, you obviously want to see ourselves back test this resistance that we've just broken out of in support like this, and then continuation. Or if we do roll, back down to the low here at 18.6, do, be prepared that, if we do see ourselves going back down to this low with a good amount of volume, we could see ourselves rolling down to the next swing low down at around that 17.8k level. But realistically, the way that we're seeing things here, momentum to the downside is decreasing. Most likely, in our opinion, we're heading up to the top of the range chart, that 22.5k level. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to check out the links in the description below to support the channel. Grab yourself some free money bonuses, and we'll see you in the next video.